It all started with a simple job at a small cafe in the heart of the city. The cafe was known for its warm atmosphere, delicious coffee, and cheerful staff. I had always dreamed of working in a place where I could meet new people, practice my English, and become more confident in speaking. But dreams, as I learned, often come with challenges. Monday, a rough start. My first day began with a mix of excitement and nervousness. I had spent the weekend practicing polite phrases like, "Welcome to our cafe," and "What would you like to order?" I felt ready, or so I thought. The first few customers were kind and spoke clearly. Everything seemed to be going smoothly until a man walked in around noon. He was tall, well-dressed, and looked like he was in a hurry. He spoke quickly, and his accent was unfamiliar. I couldn't understand him. "Excuse me, could you repeat that?" I asked, trying to stay calm. He repeated himself, but I still couldn't make sense of his words. I panicked and called my manager for help. She stepped in effortlessly, listened to the man, and prepared his order. After he left, I apologized to her. "I'm sorry. I couldn't understand him." "It's okay," she said with a reassuring smile. Sometimes people have strong accents, and it takes time to get used to them. Don't be too hard on yourself. Although her words comforted me, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had failed. Tuesday, learning from experience. The next day at school, I shared my story with my English teacher. She listened patiently and said, "What happened to you is completely normal. Understanding different accents is a skill that takes practice. Even native speakers sometimes struggle with accents they're not familiar with." Her advice was simple yet practical: start by listening to English from different regions. Watch movies or TV shows with subtitles, or listen to podcasts where people have various accents. It's like training your ears for a new sound. She also added a tip that surprised me: when you learn new words, try learning them in complete sentences. For example, instead of just learning the word order, practice saying, "Can I take your order?" This will help you use the word naturally in conversations. That evening, I went home and searched for videos online. I found interviews with Scottish speakers, Australian travel guides, and Irish storytellers. At first, it was overwhelming. I had to pause and rewind multiple times, but slowly, I began to catch phrases and understand the rhythm of their speech. Wednesday, a small victory. Back at the cafe, I was determined to do better. In the afternoon, 2 customers walked in. They looked unsure and were whispering to each other in a language I didn't recognize. When it was their turn to order, one of them hesitated before saying, "Coffee, 2, please." I smiled and replied, "2 coffees? Anything else?" The other customer nodded and said, "Cake. Small." I confirmed their order using simple sentences: 2 coffees. 2 small cakes. Is that correct? They smiled brightly and said, "Yes." Thank you. When they left, my manager gave me a thumbs up. You handled that really well. It's all about making customers feel comfortable, even if their English isn't perfect. For the first time, I felt proud of myself. I realized that communication isn't just about words, it's about understanding and connecting with people. Thursday, overcoming shyness. At school, one of my classmates asked a question that resonated with me. What can we do if we feel too shy to speak English? Our teacher smiled and said, being shy is natural, but the key is to take small steps. Start with simple phrases like, "How are you?" or "Can I help you?" Practice speaking to yourself in the mirror or record your voice. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become. She also shared another piece of wisdom: don't be afraid of making mistakes. Every mistake is a lesson. Remember, even native speakers make mistakes. That evening, I decided to follow her advice. I stood in front of the mirror and practiced saying, "Welcome to our cafe. How can I help you?" At first, it felt awkward, but as I repeated the sentences, I started to feel more confident. Friday, a surprise visit. The next day, something unexpected happened. The two tourists who had ordered coffee and cake earlier in the week returned, this time with two friends. When I saw them walk in, I felt a mix of excitement and nerves. "Hello. Welcome back," I said with a smile. They looked surprised and happy. One of them said, "You remember us?" "Of course," I replied. "How can I help you today?" They spoke slowly, and I listened carefully. I used short, clear sentences and repeated their order to confirm. We managed to communicate well, and they left the cafe with big smiles. Before leaving, one of them said, "Thank you. You are very kind. We like your cafe." Those simple words made my day. The weeks that followed. Over the next few weeks, I encountered customers from all over the world. Some spoke English fluently, while others struggled with basic phrases. Each interaction taught me something new. I remember one customer from France who struggled to describe what he wanted. He kept saying, "hot chocolate," with something. After asking a few questions, I realized he wanted whipped cream on his hot chocolate. When I handed him his drink, he smiled and said, "Perfect." Another time, a group of students from Brazil came in. They were laughing and pointing at the menu but didn't know how to pronounce some of the words. I helped them by saying the word slowly, and they repeated after me. It turned into a fun mini lesson, and we all laughed together. Every day was an opportunity to learn, not just English but also patience, kindness, and the art of making people feel welcome. Looking back, now, months later, I've grown so much. I no longer feel nervous when I meet someone with a different accent. I've learned to stay calm, ask questions, and focus on understanding rather than perfection. I've also realized that learning English isn't just about grammar or vocabulary. It's about connecting with people, sharing moments, and building confidence one step at a time. And every time a customer says, "Thank you," I know I'm on the right path.